Hello, and welcome to another meeting of the Lotus Council. So what do we got today? That's right. We've got another Jankmander deck tech. So this is from that first sealed booster box that I opened. The draft boosters, it was kind of as far as overall. I did pull one card that made up for pretty much the entirety of the box and was probably worth pretty much everything else combined. So if you're going to crack packs, crack to play. Don't crack for value. You're not going to get your value back. I'm saying this as we're heading into the season with the Double Masters Redux, the collector boosters. Oh, yeah, it seems great. Collector boosters can be fire. I mean, as we saw by the one I opened last week. But instead of 12 packs, you're getting 4. Now, I'm not going to try and tell people how they should spend their money, but honestly, I don't know that you're going to get your value's worth, even if you're hitting the big, heavy mythics in the set. It's just 4 packs. That's just not a good deal, in my opinion. All right, so deck tech. So I went with Thrakus the Butcher. So it is a legendary dragon peasant. It's 3/4 trample, 5 CMC. Kind of expensive, but whenever it attacks, double the power of each dragon you control until end of turn. So suddenly this is a 6/4. Can you guess what the theme of the deck is? That's right, dragons. So we got Lurking Green Dragon. We've got an Emerald Dragon, which does have the Adventure, which I love. We've got Bahal's Invoker, which has, that mana sink in it. We've got Fang Dragon, generic 4 flying for 6 dragon. Young Red Dragon, Sylvanas Invoker, another mana sink, except this one is becoming an 8/8 elemental creature with trample and haste. It's still a land. Honestly, that's a pretty good. That's far better, in my opinion, than this one. That's 4 damage to each opponent. If you have 3 other opponents at the table, maybe, but this one. Okay, we got a Scale Nurture. Add green when you are casting a dragon. You gain 2 life. You got Ambitious Dragonborn. That is getting X +1/+1 counters, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control and creature cards in your graveyard. Okay, well, play this after you attack. Saving you with the jank. Amethyst Dragon. We got a Stirring Bard. So you can give target creature menace and haste until end of turn, which is really good. Reckless Barbarian. You can sack it for 2, so it's basically a way to save mana. Tiamat's Fanatics. Avenging Hunter. We got a Ganix Astral Hunger. So when dragons are coming in, you get a treasure. So, oh yeah, and then there's this one. So whenever it deals combat damage, roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. So I have some mana sinks in here. And some high CMC dragons. Beautiful. Okay, we also have Earthquake Dragon, where X is the total mana value of dragons you control, and yeah, it's a 10/10 flyer with trample. Oh, wait. It's attacking with this, and suddenly, you got this one out, so that's 5, 6. That's taking 11 off just for these 2, if those are the only 2 out. But I got a lot of dragons, so there's going to be lots of dragons, so this thing is going to come out super cheap. Could drop for a single green. 10/10 flyer. Oh, I'm attacking with that too. Suddenly has a 20/20 flying trample. Beautiful. Okay, Patron of the Arts. Treasure token. More dragons. This one, Tutors for Dragons. Okay, that's enough of the dragons. So some of the equipment, we got Saddle of the Cavalier, Javelin of Lightning, Two-Handed Axe, giving something double strike until end of turn. Let's say we want to do that with our, Earthquake Dragon, and it's suddenly a 20/20 double strike with trample. Oh my goodness. Can just about one-shot somebody with that. Okay, Monster Manual. Basically Elvish Piper in a book. Bauble for obvious reasons. And then this is one of the sleepers in the set, I think. So I think this one is going to get played a little bit more when people realize how good it is. So it is 3, comes in tapped, but 2, tap to sack it, get the initiative, gain 3 life, draw a card, create a treasure. That's a lot of stuff going on for just a single thing. So, you know, it's not going to be something you can sit down and shuffle into a CEDH deck, but, you know, if you're playing casual with your friends and you're playing budget, this is a budget card. Really good in budget decks. Okay, Mindstone. Reprint has made this budget friendly. Then we got Fire Diamond, Arcane Signet, which is super friendly. And then we got the orbs. So let me pull out the other orb real quick. Okay, so we got the red orb. So add a red mana. If it's a dragon, it's getting haste. The green one, adding green. If it's a dragon, it's getting a +1/+1 counter and gets hexproof until end of turn. Oh, until your next turn. So not end of turn, the next turn. So all the way around the table, it's got hexproof. Got an Earthquake Dragon out. People are pissed at you. And, you know, it's got hexproof. So it's really hard to get rid of. Wonderful. Burnished Heart. Moss Diamond. Wand of Wonder, which is fun. I like rolling dice. This is kind of fun. This one here, actually, I'll read this one. So roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from top of their library till they exile an instant or sorcery spell, then shuffles. You may cast up to X instant and or sorcery spells from among exiled cards this way without paying their mana costs. 1 to 9, it's 1. 10 to 19, 2. You get a nat 20, you're getting 3. So really good for 4 mana. You're getting between 1 to 3 free spells. Swiftfoot Boots, Blade of Selves, giving a creature Myriad. So I don't know if I have any creatures that would be worth, you know, putting Myriad on. I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing with this deck. Even though the box itself wasn't overly spicy, I mean, I did get good stuff. Okay, so we got Acolyte of Bahamut, which is a background. The first dragon spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. Really important. So, Decanter of Endless Waters, no maximum hand size, tapping for 1. You know, I don't mind the 3 CMC rocks as long as they're doing other stuff. This one's doing other stuff. Rug of Smothering. This one might actually end up in a CEDH deck. So it's a 1/3 flyer. Whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 1 life for each spell they cast this turn. I mean, this costs 3 CMC, so you may not be able to get it out in time, but I mean, if you have somebody just going off and casting, especially if they're doing Storm, I don't know. I don't know if that's CEDH or not, if it's strong enough. What do y'all think? Good enough for CEDH? Weigh in the comments. Okay, so we got a Prophetic Prism, Lantern of Revealing, then a few more creatures, you know, because reasons. So we got a giant Ankheg. This is an 8/8 insect with trample and Ward 2. The reason why I included this, even though it's super expensive, other creatures you control have trample and Ward 2. So I'm doubling the power of my creatures with my commander. I'm protecting them with this, giving them trample. That is a really good uncommon. So I'm probably going to be building a fun artisan deck here in the very near future. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to include things like this. This would be a great commander, although I may do Tarnog. That one is a fun one. That may end up in there. Okay, so you meet a tavern. It's got multiple choices. You're either looking at top 5 cards or giving your creatures +2/+2. Okay, band together. It's Minsk and Boo. 2 target creatures are dealing damage equal to their power to another target creature. We got Poison the Blade. Target creature gains Death Touch, draw a card. I love these. I play these in Pauper. Stuff like that in Pauper. That's going to be one I'm going to play in Pauper. Okay, so we got Breath Weapon. It deals 2 damage to each non-dragon creature. I think I'm going to be okay with that. I'm running a lot of dragons, so it'll be fine. So we got to explore the Underdark. Basically, basic lands or gates, taking the initiative, Earth Tremor, Nature's Lore. Love this reprint. Love that it's uncommon. Still, a little bit expensive right now. Okay, Overwhelming Encounter. It gives vigilance, and then in trample, roll a d20, +2/+2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature. Nat 20 is put 4 +1/+1 counters. Great card. Panic Attack. It's pumping, and potentially if you're attacking 3 other players, it's +3/+0, and you get to draw a card for 3. Not bad. Druid of the Emerald Grove. So this is basically tutoring. Insufferable Balladeer. I'm probably going to be playing this in any deck I can just for the flavor. So it comes with Vicious Mockery. You're basically goading a creature that target opponent controls. It can't block. Vicious Mockery. That drives it into a frenzy, so it just attacks the nearest thing around it. Hopefully you can see the flavor on that. I'm going to try and play that in any deck I can. I wish this was in Standard because I would build a Standard deck around that. Although it doesn't really matter in, Standard. Okay, so we got Inspired Tinkering, Coronation of Chaos, You've Been Caught Stealing, another choice. Then we've got Tavern Brawler, basically giving, pumping the commander. Guild Artisan is a good one because whenever it attacks a player that has more life, or if no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens. Master Chef. Okay, so it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it, and other creatures are getting +1/+1 counter. So we're going big, making them bigger. Then we got Wilson, Refined Grizzly. I'm going to include this whenever I can. Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Ward 2 for 2 for a 2/2, and it can't be countered. I may be making an artisan deck. Yeah, I'm thinking I may build an artisan deck around that. And then we Karlach, Fury of the Avernus. So basically giving an additional combat phase, giving a first strike. It's pretty good, especially when you're doubling, trampling, and all of that. You're basically, this is going to help you finish the game. So even though this is a super janky build, I think I might be able to sleeve this up and sit down at a table and have it actually play. My LGS is doing CommanderCon this weekend. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play. Well, last weekend it was. You're probably going to see this video next Monday. So this would have been a fun one to play there just to see what happens. Okay, so we got Leven, Cultist of Tiamat. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +X/+0, where X is the spell's mana value. So some of those spells were pretty good. Size, so Under Mountain Adventurer. Basically adding mana. And if you've completed a dungeon, you're getting 6. So I got some initiative going on. Then we got to have the bolt. We got to have the bolt. Okay, lands. Command Tower, obviously. Basilisk's Gate. Baldur's Gate. We got Gone Gate. This one is, I think, not being noticed by people. Probably because it's not in a constructed format other than an Eternal format. Gates you control enter the battlefield untapped. Not laughing about the guild gates anymore, are we? Because they're coming in as true duels. I like this one. And you can either add colorless or 1 mana of any color that a gate you control can make. So then we got Cliff Gate and Manor Gate. Heap Gate. So I've got a lot of gates because this one is adding mana to the number of gates. This one's adding +X/+X for creature until end of turn, where X is the number of gates you control. You can do this as a sorcery. So I do this before combat, doing it to this. With all my gates. Yeah. And attack with that too. Okay. Of course I need Evolving Wilds, and then of course I've got Mountain Forest to fill out the curve. So all in all, I think this would be an actual fun deck to run. So I'm going to try and play this one a little bit at my LGS, see if I can get it to work a little bit. But I'm pretty hopeful. So, well, hopefully this was an enjoyable deck tech for you, and you enjoyed hearing me talk about the weird stuff that I like to do with cards and the synergies I tried to build that don't make any sense, but might work. Yeah, it's fun. That's what I enjoy doing with Commander. I like to be creative. So anyway, if you're on the lookout for cards, go check out our friends over at Geekified. You can find them at geekifiediowa.com. If you're wanting to know when we have our next video, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join us in the Discord, which you should do because we do fun stuff there. So we want to thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. So that's all we have for today, but we hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And with that, our meeting is now adjourned.